All right, everyone, welcome to another episode of The Urban Gardener. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today on this episode. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button right down below. Follow along with more garden adventures as we continue growing here on The Urban Gardener. This episode today is just basically a follow-up to the last episode that we put out about the rooftop garden in Portland, Oregon. Now, if you didn't get a chance to go see that episode, right down in the description below, I've posted a link for you. Go check that episode out. It's really remarkable rooftop garden. Basically today, I had some extra footage from some stuff that I filmed up on the rooftop, kind of as me and Mark were kind of discussing how we were gonna do and what we were gonna do in filming the last episode. So I just kind of collected some video footage of some of the different garden beds and different things. And along the way, Mark kind of gave us a little tutorial on how he fertilizes the rooftop garden up there, and I thought it was kind of an interesting way of taking care of fertilization. And so figured with that clip and some of these extra clips, we could have a nice little small short little episode with some extras from the rooftop garden at Noble Rot, Portland, Oregon. I hope you enjoy.
Our shed's falling apart, man. This thing's 12 years old. It's like literally being hung together with some strings. So, so I'm using these. These are like two different examples of this one's a high nitrogen 402, high growth fertilizer. This one's 224 NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, so more on the bloom side of things, it's called. So let's say I want, now normally you would mix this. Foliar sprayer, feed the soil, you're going to dilute it. But what I found that I could do is say I'm gonna work on the alpine strawberries with this bloom. So I just have a restaurant squeeze bottle. So I take the stuff, I shake it up first, you know, in its container. These things can get stinky, so you definitely want to shake them with the cap really on. Right, you don't want that cap loose, because if you get sprayed, you're gonna be in trouble. And then kind of carefully pour it in. You don't really need a funnel or anything, because that's a pretty wide mouth funnel. So you can have one for bloom and one for nitrogen, or for kind of leafy growth, or I just alternate between them. And then what I'm going to go do is now this is a little too concentrated to deliver right to the plants themselves. What I do is I give it a squeeze and then I go and water it in right away. So it's kind of diluting it right there. So let's go do it. So over here I've got a bunch of alpine strawberries. These guys here, you can actually see some fruit on them already that I just bought as transplants. I've also raised them from seed myself too. You can get seeds for there's an innumerable number of different varieties. Some of them are red, some of them are kind of pink, some of them are white. They ripen white. Some of them ripen yellow. They have all kinds of aromatic flavors. They're really, in my mind, totally superior to regular strawberries. They're much, they're much smaller, that's for sure. That's about the typical size. They could be maybe twice that size. That's about the size of my little nail on my pinky finger, but you could maybe get them thumbnail size, I've seen. And like I said, they're just more fragrant and intense, not as watery. So I want to encourage right now, I just put these in, they're already blooming, they're kind of the mature size they already want to be. So I'm going to want to encourage that bloom. So almost once a week I'm going to come by with this, like a jug of this, and I'm just going to give a little squirt, like just a little 1 second pulse, one, right at the base. And then these guys in the container, they're from last year. They're looking a little sad. Kind of got a lot of dead stuff in there. I'm going to have to come through and clip that out. But right now I'm just going to give them a little pulse also. Blah, blah, blah. Come over here. Here's some new ones. These guys are kind of a whitish yellow one called Pineapple Rush. They're pretty cool. We had there are already some berries on there that we sampled, and they were delish the other day. But I'm just going to give them again like a pulse at the base of this stuff. And then over here, these are some older, a little more tired ones from last year. Since these are planted in a row, I'm just going to kind of go right down the middle, applying some. And I had the area watered in already, so that's going to sink in and dilute a little bit as it sinks in. But now I'm going to water over the top. Not too much, because I don't want to drive that stuff down and out. Like especially in a container, you could drive it completely out. So I'm going to take my watering wand here and just give it all a little water in and dilute that down to kind of an acceptable level. And I found to be that's really helpful for these. I do that for peppers. I do it for a lot of anything that's blooming or fruiting in containers. And in my mind, the Eco Roof is just a giant container garden, of course. So really helpful to just keep some nutrients, some of those three essential nutrients, especially the phosphorus and the potassium for these guys, the bloomers. If we're looking at lettuces, and I've just put in some lettuce, I will emphasize with the grow formula, the 402 or 420, whatever it was. But the 4 is the important number there. That's the first one, the N or the nitrogen, and that's going to help the green leafy growth. That's what I want to encourage there. So maybe once a week, especially in the spring when the soil is kind of giving up its nutrients slowly, I may put some of that on to help give it some quick nitrogen to ensure even growth. Around now, the lettuce is growing pretty fast, and the granular fertilizers that I put in are giving their stuff pretty readily, so I don't need to do too much of that during the summer. but I will use the bloom stuff. And then in the spring and the fall, I use the nitrogen, the heavier nitrogen stuff to help the greens keep going as temperatures, especially soil temperatures, cool off. Don't mistake this for your ketchup bottle, okay? It's a condiment for plants, not for humans. And then, oh, here's the other deal. If you take this stuff and dilute it, and you store it diluted, it will ferment and go funky on you, and get mold and go bad and away. So you have to store it concentrated. Concentrated, it's too much for the biological activity to take over it. Either it has too much sugars or salts or whatever the concentrate is prevents biological activity. But we're trying to stimulate biological activity, and as soon as you water it down, even in this container, if I were to fill this up now halfway with water, that alone would be enough to get it to start to mold. So I store it in its concentrated form. I may pour it back in the bottle if I'm going to switch to another. If I want to go to nitrogen now, I might pour this one right back in the bottle. But that's another reason why I don't like to dilute in the container, because then if I don't use the whole container, I'm going to waste it. It's going to go bad. Yeah, look at this too. You can spray from a distance. See? I'm getting the beans. I don't even have to be right on them. And then now, of course, I made a mess, but all I got to do is water it in. Now, one warning too, if you're doing this for lettuce in the spring and you're about to eat the lettuce, you got to give it about a week, because if you get any on the leaves, it will maintain a taste on those leaves. So either you want to do it really down the middle line without any contact with the leaves and let it sink into the root zone, or if you're kind of being a little sloppy like I just was, or doing it from a distance, and you squirt all the leaves, that's fine. You're going to dilute it, it's going to run off, but you might take 2 or 3 waterings before, or rains, however the water's coming, before that happens. So you don't want to be eating the leaves. It's going to taste funky. I promise you that. So there we go. See, I just gave a boost to those beans, those pole beans. They haven't started flowering yet, but they're going to real soon, and I kind of just want to keep pushing them in that direction.
So, all right, everybody, once again, I really have to thank Marc for everything that he has done in participating with our channel here on The Urban Gardener. He's a really, really great collaborator, and got more to look forward to with him coming up here. He has a really cool microgreens operation that we shot some video of while we were up there. I'm going to be putting that video together and publishing that here real soon, so you can look forward to that coming up. But for now, I want you to give this video a big, big thumbs up for Marc and the rooftop garden at Noble Rot. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything at all, hit me up in that comment section below, and hit that like button and the subscribe button. Follow along with more garden adventures as we keep on growing here on The Urban Gardener, and I'll see you again on the next episode.
Show you how I give some extra nourishment to some of these guys.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of these.
Okay, you're a natural teacher, man. You should be doing videos, man. Really, you
Sooner or later, I'll get there.
You're a good teacher, man.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Man, I don't have time to do it myself, so you're like...
I know, I got to show up and
we're a good
put you to work, man.
You got the technique, you got the...
That's right.
I don't have time to learn all that.
Today, all right, everyone, thank you for joining me today. Today, we just got back. Now today, let's see here. Seen that rooftop garden. don't think that's how I want to explain that. Dude, don't bother me. I'm not your friend. Don't leave me alone. Boy, oh boy, he was really liking me. Oh, he still likes me right now. I must have something on me. Don't worry about this darn bee that seems to be finding me to be really interesting. Distracted me so much I forgot where I was at. I might have to start all over again. I don't mind bees. I just don't like when they're so interested in me. Be interested in all the flowers I provide you and let me do what I gotta do myself.